In recent years, much of the fighting over the Colville National Forest has subsided. Former adversaries have been finding new ways to get along, and work is getting done out in the woods once again, thanks in large part to the Northeast Washington Forestry Coalition. A remarkable alliance of timber companies, conservationists, forestry professionals, and community leaders, the coalition is finding common ground forest management solutions that are protecting timber jobs and safeguarding our national heritage.
I'm Rick Brazel, the Forest Supervisor on the Colville National Forest. I've been here 5 years now. I've got 30 years in with the Forest Service. I've really enjoyed coming to the Colville. When I first got here, I met some folks that said they were with the Forestry Coalition. They wanted to meet with me, so I met with them. Didn't know what it was about. They said they've been trying to form a group together, and like timber industry, environmentalists, and what have you. And I said, sure, I'll meet with you. When I met with them, they said they were having trouble getting the Forest Service to sit down and talk to them, and I was surprised about that. So I said, hey man, this is great. We've got people working together. Let's sit down, let's talk. And from that time on, we've had a great relationship. We've went a long way, done a lot of things together.
Currently there are 13 members of the board on the Northeast Washington Forestry Coalition. Those 13 members represent over 100 years of conservation activities and over 300 years of professional forestry experience. They are well-qualified, experienced, marvelous people who are doing a fantastic work as volunteers.
It's so important that when you sit down and you look at the management of land, that you take the point of view of how do you balance the social needs of your forest, and that would be how the people interact, and recreation. It would be the environmental needs, the water and the animals and the plants, as well as the economic. How is it that the economics, the extractive industries within the forest survive? There's a need for all three of these out here, and how do you balance those? And I believe the coalition has come up with just I'm gonna say it, it's a brilliant plan. It balances all three of those needs within the 1.1 million acres of the Colville National Forest.
Yeah, the coalition does a great job solving the problems that are on the National Forest through the collaborative efforts. And those problems are forest health and land management and land allocations and what we do with the land that's on the Colville National Forest. And it needs to be balanced. So if we can balance all those interests and then go out there and look at it in terms of abundance rather than scarcity, and find the areas that need to be actively managed. There are other areas that need to be restored into a condition that is a healthy forest condition that prevents disease and insect outbreaks in the forest, that prevents catastrophic wildfire. And then there are those other areas that we haven't managed in the past, the roadless areas, that some of those areas should be looked at and protected in a wilderness designation. Like I said, other areas should be protected in some sort of restorative manner where there might be a light touch on the land. Some of those areas where there's already road systems should be actively managed, and that's where the motorized recreation should happen, and all those things. We're now collaborating on projects with a number of different entities, the interested parties on the Colville National Forest and the Tri-County area that are all interested in what goes on the National Forest are coming together, and they're talking about the interests of what needs to go on that land. And from that, we're able to move projects forward.
So we're here at the Kettle Falls Generating Station. We buy about 500,000 green tons of wood waste a year, and this is wood waste from sawmills, from plywood mills, what they can't use as a higher value product, and also from forestry operations. So we're in partnerships with other people in the coalition, for example, Vaughan Brothers and Stimson Lumber and the Boise Mills. So the coalition has been promoting these timber sales, and we're on the cusp of working with what's left over. What would have been going up in smoke is beginning to come into this facility as wood fuel, which will eventually be green energy. And this facility not only supports the local economy, but from the old wigwam burners in the days when we had lots of smoke in the atmosphere to what we do now, a 98.9% reduction in smoke particulates. The visible smoke you can see, 98% reduction in CO off of open burning on the Forest Service property. So we're really proud of that. We've been here for 25 years. We'd like to be here another 25 years, supporting the economy, making green energy, and doing all the things that are good for forestry.
So we're looking at projects that are different than they were in the past. We're not looking at the big, broad-scale clear cuts. It's more understory thinning. We are going to be doing some regeneration, but that's in places where it's required for forest health reasons rather than, putting a bunch of logs on the back of a truck.
Many of those barriers have been broken now. There is trust. There's confidence that all sides are coming together and coming up with logical solutions. No one side's going to get everything, but both sides can get all of the things together that they agree on to start with. And then we can chip away at those obstacles. But the fact is we've left all the obstacles to the side and we're getting something done, and I applaud the coalition for that.
The volume removed and the acres treated has increased on the Colville National Forest. Up to 61 million board feet has been removed in 2008, and 5,200 acres were treated for fuels reduction, and that is a significant jump from 18 million feet removed and 2,000 acres treated in the recent past, like in 2002. So our work is making a difference